Hello Libra, Happy New Year to you and welcome to your General Tarot card reading for January of 2019. Libra, we have the following cards over here. So your reading starts with the Tower, then King of Wands, Four of Cups, Seven of Cups, Three of Coins or Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Wands and the Hangman. And from the first glance of your reading for January, Libra, I can tell that it might be a very challenging month for you, that it's going to shake you up, going to force you to rethink things, reorganize them, pull yourself together. You might have some kind of emotional hiccup, and this is indicated by those two pair of cups here, by the 4 and 7, and then the rest is kind of telling the story of you getting on the top of the things and being able to manage. However, there might be something still that is going to be left unresolved. So Libra, without further ado, let's start with the Tower, because Tower can be representing some kind of destruction, upheaval, divine intervention, stroke of fate, reversal of fortune, destruction of old structures and old ways, accident. So but equally might simply indicate liberation, and is linked to two numbers, 16 and 7. And 7 is its indication of overcoming difficulties. So basically what the Tower is standing for, breaking down of existing forms, is indicating sudden and unexpected changes, and some of those changes that might be just outdated. So it's all about the kind of updating and finding new, better ways, finding the true values and finding kind of your true self within this. And because the Tower is kind of man-made structure, it's representing those kind of ideas, things that we would like to build, that our hopes and dreams, and sometimes things that we would like to have, or we would sometimes also Tower is referring to something, and I guess I try to explain it in best possible way. Sometimes what we need is not always what we want, and because of that, life has a funny odd way to show us, well, that's what you kind of want, but it's not necessarily what you would need. And that may be the overall message over here, because there's also a lightning here, that the entire situation might be kind of very enlightening. There might be some kind of sudden realization coming to the play as well. And some kind of this card, because there's a card also of liberation and cleansing. You're going to, through this, going to find a better ways, and you're going to be able to look at the things from the new, fresh perspective. So overall, it might be kind of come across as something that is going to challenge you, and it's going to bring you a change with which you would have to deal with. Overall, it's going to bring you something that's going to allow you to progress and develop a new ways. And sometimes, for some of you, it's going to simply represent unexpected positive changes. And also, because of this lightening aspect of this card, you know what, for some of you might be telling about sudden events occurring, that you're going to have that kind of flashes of intuition and breaking from this restriction as well, something that was restricting you, something that was bounding you to something, and because of that, because of this change and this kind of sudden liberation as well, Tower is also asking you to accept the changes, and go with the flow and allow it to happen, to not stand in your own way. And because we have a King of Wands next to it, so King of Wands is coming as once they are life force, but also they're talking about practical aspects, and kings, they're representing the completion, the end of cycle. And because the King of Wands is being represented by salamander, I don't know how well you can see, but it's the little lizard creature here next to the king, and his throne. There are lions and salamanders, and some of them, they're eating their own tails, and they're creating this kind of circle. This is talking about the trial by fire. This is talking about completion, being able to complete one thing. For some of you, it's going to be a conscious decision. You're going to kind of be practical about whatever is happening or is going to happen, and you will be able to manage this on very much I would say mind of the matter kind of manner. And the king over here, it's a very positive omen. It's going to bring something new into your life, something that it's going to be how to put it, I would say that whatever is going to happen, the King of Wands can provide you with abundance of energy, and it's going to kind of help you or provide you. That might be a person, or might be this might be your own attitude, to drive you or direct you in a very positive direction. And basically what the King of Wands, I think, in a way how it sits in your reading, is encouraging you to think positively. But whatever you're going to do in terms of being practical about certain things, you might have some kind of emotional hiccup when it comes to it. And this emotional hiccup is coming in the form of 4 of Cups and 7 of Cups. So because you might feel disappointed, and 4 of Cups is depicting this chap who's sitting on the grass. He's kind of sitting on kind of, let's call it a little hill. Let's call it a little hill. He's resting against the tree. This is suggestion of being grounding, but quite often the 4 of Cups is also representing a feeling of being withdrawn or empathy as well. So the 4 is it might be representing some kind of emotional stagnation, being emotionally stuck. Being emotional stuck because sometimes this might be once again coming and talking to and connecting with the Tower, and this aspect of what you want and what you need are 2 different things. And because from this cloud, the hand is extending with this chalice, and this chalice might be representing, in my mind's eye, it is representing actually the Ace of Cups. Something is being offered to you, and because your arms being crossed, Libra, you're not willing to accept it, and you don't even look in that direction. You're looking into those 3 of Cups, things that have been, but then though you're looking at them, you kind of stuck in your way. You might be stuck in your expectation when it comes to life. So this is all about opening up, and maybe basically going through the phase where you kind of feeling disappointed and and feeling like things that are not really going in your way. And because of that, you might kind of withdraw and go into this what if, would I, could I, should I kind of thing. And this is represented by the Seven of Cups, because Seven of Cups is represented this abundance of ideas, this abundance of different things. You have the jewels, you have this castle, you have this dragon over here, a snake. Snakes quite often it's representation of good luck and wisdom in many cultures, and actually in this card as well. So your unconscious self, because this person is kind of a black figure, it's depicted as someone who is black, so it's representing kind of your unconscious side of you, Libra. And then you might be looking at this, cloaked figure that might be representing you as well. So the indications here, you might be spoiled by the choice. You might be doing a lot of wishful thinking. And this is not necessarily the best way forward, because you might be spreading yourself too thinly. You might be either overthinking, overemphasizing. So this is all about, I would say, focusing on what is possible, because you might be chasing your own perceptions and whatever. And quite often Seven of Cups is being described as a card of illusion, and some of them would say are deadly sins, but depending to what you're prescribing to. But you might be deceiving yourself. So this is all about focusing and being practical. So you might be, I think this change you might be very reactive and proactive when it comes to this change, but equally some kind of emotional hiccup and kind of emotional processing. It's required, but also maybe, and just maybe, because you're going to run all those scenarios on emotional level as well with those Seven of Cups. This is regarding about finding the resolution and solution to your situation. And on the top of it, what I would say, it's also about being grateful about what you have and finding positive aspects of your life and being thankful for all your blessings, because once again, Seven of Cups, it might be simply representing your way of thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, if that makes sense. And also because 7 is a card of overcoming, and the Tower is also number 7. So number 7 indicates in general that you're going to overcome difficulties, that the change will work in your favor, and sooner or later you're going to see the positive outcomes, but you shouldn't be feeling compliant. You kind of must continue and act in realistic terms in order to achieve your future goals. I hope that makes sense. And because of that, and I think you're going to arrive at that point, I strongly believe that you will, because you have 3 of coins, and 3 is all about building a new structures, and 3 of coins is indicating some foundation of something that is very, I would say, and well, the best way I can describe it, something that is very tangible. So 3 of Pentacles, whenever you're going to cut it, it's a very positive card. Usually, and in particular when it's regarding to work and career aspects of your life, but nevertheless it's a very good omen when it comes to things in general. And you might be appreciated by your efforts. People might notice the quality of the work that you're doing. Not necessarily it always has to be representing in terms of pay rise or what have you, but this is indicating either work coming in, or you being commissioned, you being recognized, but also because the background of this card is dark, it's about realizing your own potential, realizing the new skills, being able to build something. And because you have that bench that you're standing, or this person is standing on this bench, is indication that you're going to be viewed in a way that it's favorable. That's what I was about to say, the favorable kind of view. And actually, because you're standing on this bench, the bench also might be indicating here that you're going to find yourself in the right place. Good luck, a stroke of the good luck. And this is very much backed up by the Ten of Pentacles over here, because whichever way you're going to look at it, once again, it's a Pentacles, and 10 is a kind of talking about the ending of the cycle, wrapping up, so kind of reaping the rewards coming from your past deeds. It's a very positive omen overall. It might mean that your material wishes, they're going to be met to the certain degree, and for some of you, you might not even thought that would be possible, and yet it's going to come your way. So also 10 is representing security in all forms. What I would say on the top of it, 10 is representing the balance. 10 is representing family, some kind of long-lasting values and securities. Because if you're going to look at 10, it's also knowing what your values are and who your friends are. Because if you're going to look at this picture, there's a man, a woman, a child, those two dogs, and this elderly gentleman in the background. And nobody is kind of paying attention to this elderly gentleman is there. So it might be your own wisdom. There might be actually aspect of you that is represented in the King of Wands. This kind of wisdom that you have, this kind of intuition and kind of knowing that you're going to go in the right direction. It almost feels to me that the Ten of Pentacles, in 10 of Pentacles, because there's a Libra, if you're going to look very carefully, just above this head of this old gentleman is a Libra there, so it's representing a balance, and you might be just knowing that things are coming your way, and those things coming your way, I see it as those two dogs. And because of that, next to it, you have an Ace of Wands. And once again, Ace is a new beginning. So you have a 10 that is a finishing of the cycle. You have a 1 that is Ace of Wands. And this Ace of Wands, Ace is a new beginning. But Wands, they are life force, something that is being offered to you, something that is coming to the existence, something that is sprouting out of nowhere. And because you have a castle on the background there, that also is talking about the security, but I'm thinking about something that is kind of long term, something that an idea or something going to come your way, that it's going to be indicating a long term gains, I suppose, anyhow. So to just wrap it up, when it comes to the Ace of Wands, it's indication of new beginnings. It's a very positive card. It might also represent some kind of accomplishment coming when it comes to your work or career. So I think it's something to do with your work, with your career, with your finances. It's going to kind of improve, or it's going to kind of gain a momentum. If that makes sense. And then your reading is kind of ending on the Hangman, and that is once again card representing withdrawal, and this is kind of linking to 4 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So something emotionally still within you, Libra, is lingering, and that is the question: what is it and why you are wanting to linger, Libra? Because Hangman might be representing the crossroads and not being sure which way to go and what decision to make. But it's also representing letting go. It's representing transition, change, and the growth. For some of you, Libra, your intuition going to serve you, because sometimes the Hangman is also representing the inner wisdom, the intuition as well, coming from coming from this inner reflection. But what I would say, I don't know, do you want to... It feels to me like there is something that you have to go through. This emotional hiccup has to be processed, and I think that's the only way how you can process those emotions or whatever is happening to you. It's about sit on it and go for it and process it. And I think Hangman in this particular case, Libra, for you, it's indication to follow your belief in successful outcomes based on your faith rather than your rational or let's say your conscious mind. So your rationale is not always serving you well here, Libra, and maybe that's why you might be fighting between there might be the issue here between what your mind is telling you and what your gut is telling you, and because of that you might have a tendency to push through and then kind of disregard how you feel emotionally about it. So that's kind of when we are in terms of the overall reading for January, Libra over here. When it comes to things to focus on, it's a Three of Cups. And Three of Cups is talking about focus on the positive things in your life. It's all about the celebration. It's about the reunion as well with other people and coming together and finding, because the reunion is not always about reunion with people. It's Three of Cups is talking about, is depicting people, but it also might be reunion with yourself, reunion with you as a person, reunion with things that you might felt like have been lost. So this is all about focusing on the positivity and positive aspects. And when it comes to additional commentary, we have this amazing rune that is called Vuno, and Vuno is talking about delight and joy and satisfaction and good times ahead. So basically what this card is telling you, it's talking about the restoration of harmonious aspects in your life. So I would say that actually is also talking about the necessary changes that they're now behind. So I think it's very much linking with the Tower, because it's saying you went through all those changes, you are going through those necessary adjustments in your life, and because of that you're free of certain things, and you're able to being open to kind of start afresh and be able to receive those new blessings, and the right thing's going to come in your way. You just have to stay positive, and it's all about the celebration, the life, and the positive and positive aspects of life. So whatever you're going to go through, Libra, when it comes to this January and this emotional hiccup, focus on positive sides. And those two cards, the Three of Cups, that is talking about the focusing on things that are important, and this rune is also talking about focus on positive, and whatever you have to process, but please be mindful of things that you have, and try to see the glass half full, not half empty. Libra, I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in. As usual, it's an immense pleasure to read for you. Have a smashing January, and bye for now. If this reading has resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to go to my website www.tarotwithmishka.co.uk, or alternatively you can email me at mishka@tarotwithmishka.co.uk. If you'd like to find me on Facebook, just simply type in Tarot with Mishka. I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.